Hello. So I just want to walk through kind of how I approach the game of dominoes, particularly in the team setting. So right now, we see that my partner has already knocked on the six. So the first logical step is we want to protect my partner. And this move here with the 6-2 also allows me, as I'm now team lead, to start what we call pushing my strong suit, which is the two. So I play that 6-2 there, and that comes out another two, which just further strengthens my current position. So now my partner should be supporting what I'm doing at this current moment. Now, I know it's tempting to throw out this 5-2, right? However, I tend to not like a strong hand when it includes a double. I'll feel better about it if a 3-2 comes out. So for right now, for the purposes of this, I'll probably throw out this 3-3 just to keep this 3 alive, for the chance of the 2 coming out. But obviously that's not going to happen anymore. So now we're going to cover this 6 to protect my partner. And again, there's another opportunity here for that 3-2 to come out. So we'll cover that. So still nothing that we really like here. So we're gonna just cover this here. Now, as the game winds down, it's becoming more and more clear that this is probably not gonna result in a win, just given how the current game is shaking out. We see here that the opponent after me is still mono, having less cards than I do. So we'll throw this out, which unfortunately doesn't really yield any positive results. This 2 is going to be covered, more than likely, and then they win. So sometimes that's how it works out. Doesn't always go your way. So hopefully we'll have better luck in this next round. This hand here is a bit more complicated to work with. You can see that my strong hand would be these 6s, and not really many options in terms of what I can look for. So what I'm looking for would be to throw out this 3-2 in hopes of a 6-3 coming out. So we'll play that here. So again, as I am the team lead, my focus right now is to try to push my own strategy. Although there really isn't much that I can do with this hand at this current moment based on how the game is playing out. So just to kind of cover my bases and get more information, in an incident like that, I will double up the board just to get a sense of who has what. So now we know that this opponent after me doesn't have any any fives. So given that my hand is not really the best, I could double up once more, just to get a sense of what now the opponent after me has. So, okay, so now we see that that opponent has everything, right? They have all of the 6s, all of the remaining 5s. So at some point, I'm going to knock again, because when that 5 blank comes out, I will be forced to pass. So at this point, we're pretty much just waiting to get to the next round. My hand is ready. There's not really much that I can do with it this time. If I could drop this double six, that'd be great to kind of just lighten the load, but they're definitely going to end this round with a lot of points. Okay, so not too bad. Still definitely able to come back from this, but hoping for a more balanced hand. Here, so we have two things working against us. One, we only have 1-6. We also only have 1-5. In this case, I think I'll probably go with the 5, only because that does give chance for a 5-4 to come out, which can help with the strategy. So we'll throw that one out for now. Problem is my partner is not working too much with what I have going on. Okay, so there goes our first 4. So I could be a little bit aggressive with it and avoid playing this for now in hopes that another 4 can come out later. I'm going to give it a try. It'll also help me see what kind of information is available out there. Plus, I'm hedging already by not throwing out this 6-4. Okay. All right, now the challenge with this is that by me playing this gives an opportunity to double up on 5s, which could potentially make my partner knock. So there we go, see? Yeah. Definitely not what we wanted in this situation. And if I throw this out there, yeah. Actually, no. The 6-2 is there already, so I can put this out there. Okay. The partner has a lot of options here. Okay. So that tells us that this person doesn't have that last 4. And there we go. Now, when I do play dominoes, I often prefer to be team defense, and I'll demonstrate a bit more, especially with a really good hand like this. When I play as team defense, I spend the majority of my time looking at 2 things. I look at, one, what my partner has started the game or plays, and also what the person after me plays. So in this case, when your partner starts, and in this case, my partner started with a 5-3, I still want some more information in terms of what he or she is looking for. So typically in a situation like this, you always want to allow for this kind of formation so that additional numbers can come out to support whatever my partner is trying to push. And because my partner started with a 5-3, then a 5 blink, we're going to make the logical guess that my partner is trying to push 5s. Now, I'm going to introduce the 4s At this point, one, to cover this five, to give my partner more opportunities to play other fives. Two, this allows me to introduce my strong suit just in case my partner is no longer team lead. So right now I'm going to throw out this five, this blank two, hoping for a 5-2 to come out, but still protecting that four, because I do want to get some further information to see if the person after me is going to pass one for us. See, there we go. We have that five coming out. Now this person is going to play on that four, obviously, and we're going to cover it quickly. That three, and then, when you play at certain speeds, that also indicates the strength or weakness of your hand. So me playing very quickly indicates that I only had, limited options in this case. The partner said no. Well, that's okay. Probably a double one. Okay. So fives are covered. This is 6, 6, 5. Nope. Fives are covered. Nope. 6, 1 is remaining. So we're going to throw that, because now we want an opportunity to introduce that. Okay, slowly climbing back up. I don't know what that means, but we'll look that up later. Again, another really strong hand to start. But again, the point is to support my partner. So we're going to start off with that. I just gathered some information as the game goes on. Okay, now I feel pretty good. Now in this instance, right, I like to consider this a hedge. So because I have the card here that can block or double up the board, right? Holding it, this gives me information that others don't have. So I feel pretty safe about throwing this double four out, knowing that the only other option would be to introduce another card. And now, since my partner started with threes, threw out another three, I feel very comfortable about where this game is headed. Now I'll throw out this last three here to add a little bit of pressure. Okay, so now, having done that so early, we know that my partner does not have any fours. So we're going to double up on 6 instead. Interesting. So I'm assuming that the person before me has the other blank, and because I want to prevent my partner from knocking, this is a little risky, but I'm going to throw out this one, because I have no chance of winning this game at this current moment. It's really up to my partner. So I'm not going to double up on the blanks. Okay, there we go. Interestingly enough, the person after me had the blanks. That was a very risky move. And it worked out, actually. It's a bit of a gamble, but it worked out. In this instance, this is a really, really terrible hand. People typically like to, oh, that was actually not what I was trying to do. I was going to start with this 5 here. I typically don't like to, I like to have a pretty balanced hand. And so throwing out that only 6 is actually really problematic right now. Given that I am team lead at this moment, I don't want to weaken my hand, but I also don't trust that I'm going to win this. So we're just going to try to lighten the load, particularly getting rid of the doubles. I'm not very confident in this go around, but we're just trying to avoid knocking as early in the game as possible, and hopefully we can cause our opponent to pass. Okay, so got a couple 3s out there. I'm gonna throw out this 1-3. Hold on to that blank. Now, if a 5 blank came out, could have definitely done some damage, but as of right now, we'll just throw out this double 5. Okay, so we have 4-2 that's missing, along with double 4, which should probably come out now. Yep. And then, that's dangerous. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the beauty of the game is that you don't always have to win every single one. Sometimes it's good enough just to survive long enough to support your partner. In this instance, right, it's still very early to tell. It could be the case that my partner just wanted to get rid of the double 6. But because we want to support rather than to be a detriment to the team, rather than throwing out this double 5, we're going to throw out this 5-2 to support a possible double up on 6 if that's what my partner wants. And the second turn, the second go around, generally gives you a bit more information than the very first. Okay, and as expected. Okay, so now that gives us, right, and that's what I was hoping wouldn't happen because I don't have any 3s to support. But what I can do is I can cover. I don't want to introduce the 1s because the likelihood that my partner doesn't have a 1 is greater because I have 3 1s in my hand. There's a lesser probability, a greater probability that my partner does have blanks, so I'll throw out a blank instead. Everything right now is to support my partner, who is team lead, and it is also mono. Unfortunately, I have to throw out this 1. But all this will eventually work to support my partner who wants this 6-1 right there. It may double up on blanks here. Yep, you know that. Okay. Blank 2, possibly. Okay, blank 5. All right, so now this is challenging because my partner most likely has, what is missing here? 6-1, 6-4. My partner most likely has 6-4. And I believe that the person after may have the double 4. So I'm going to throw this out there. The hope is that we're forcing this person to play on that blank, which is exactly what we did. And let's hope that this person can now close out that double four. There we go. There we go. So now we know that this person to the right of me has that double four. And now it really comes down to whether or not I can come out with this double five to win, which is a great possibility. Oh. This is a back and forth affair. Very slow gameplay. And this is not shaking out to be a very good game for us, at least for me. My partner seems to be heavy on these threes, but I don't have any threes to support. So it's a bit of an aggressive move, but I'm going to give it a try. That gives us a little bit of information. Well, a lot of information. Number one, we're almost guaranteed to get this double one out. For right now, I'm going. So having seen that this person played their last four, I'm not going to be quick to play this double six. I'm going to throw this one out instead. Now, of course, that person could be using a diversion, but only time will tell. And it's a pretty safe bet to go with the double one instead. It's really a game between these two at this point. So now, and this is where it's tough. I'm going to throw this out for the purposes of lightening our load. But there we go. Sometimes that's why it's good to get information early on in the game to see who has what and get a better sense of what the landscape looks like later in the game. My partner probably has a few options of how to approach it as he or she takes his time. So, wow, really strong move to come out. So, the person to the right of me has no ones. I also only have 1-1. So that tells us that this game is going to come down to these two individuals who play after me. And I'm always particularly interested in games like that because it's a bit of a chess match. Right now, don't really have many options that I can do. I also don't particularly like to feed into this battle, right? Because they each are looking for these ones, right? It's too early to tell who has the majority of which. So we're just going to play this double four for right now. Just to get a bit more information. Game is way too early to try to give someone the leverage just yet. Right now, we're going to double up on this 2. maybe a 1-2 comes out. Okay. So they seem like they're conserving these ones for right now until it gets to the final stretch. But at that point, the game is really, between these two people because they have a pretty good sense of who has what at that point. I'm going to double up on this 5 because with the 5-1 already being out there, I want to increase the likelihood that this person after me knocks. Okay. Goes another 2. Now, as the game starts to wind down, we want to get a sense of who may have what. There goes that 1 that has been eluding everyone, as well as another 2. There goes a 3. I'm looking for that blank. There we go. I know it may seem a little selfish in that moment, but in a game like that, I don't like it coming down to 2 people who, essentially have identical hands at that point. We're going to start off with this double 2. Very strong hand, although we're lacking in 4s, but that's okay. Hopefully the game doesn't come down to that. It's a great move by my partner. Then we're going to double up, get some information. I would really love to drop this double 3 as early as possible, but with that, with me having the 2-3 in hand, and 3's already being out there, it's not looking very likely this early on. So, and there goes that 4 that we want to stay away from. So now I'm just going to cover this blank with the only option I have. So now we have a really strong formation here with these 2s still in hand. Yep, we're going to cover that 1. Introduced. Oh. Okay. So this is not looking very good. Okay. My partner needs to be very careful, but unfortunately, I don't believe. Okay, that's a great move. Really, really good move. So now we know that the remaining cards in this person's hand are beautiful. The last 5s. Beautiful. Now let's see if we can close out on a strong note. We have this double 1 here, which I'll throw out. Not particularly looking for anything, just gonna take whatever the game gives at this point. Throw out this 1 blank. Interesting. Very interesting. So we have one of these 3s introduced now, which is really, really solid. And I love how this is forming with the 1s as well. It's okay. Maybe a 3 blank. Beautiful. I'm gonna cover that. hopefully we can end this with what we call in Haitian domino culture is a décabès, which is to play both ways. There we go. That's our remaining one, maybe a double 5 there. Ah, man. That's okay. We still got the 3. It's come out anyways. And we end the game like that. Potentially. As long as they don't have any really low numbers. Yep, and that's the game. So thanks for watching. Feel free to leave any comments on the gameplay, thoughts about the strategy, and see you in the next one.